29,000 ideas out there with new trends coming out every year. The stores fill up with Christmas decor way before Halloween. It's making us all spend way too much money on once-a-year decor. In today's video, we're deep diving into Christmas decorating with tons of ideas on how to find your style and make a plan for your Christmas home makeover this year. Hi, I'm Lindsay, a former teacher DIY renovating our 71-year-old ranch-style home in Seattle, one new skill and project at a time. I know it might seem a little early to haul out the Christmas tree, but honestly it's not. And the more that you can get done now, the better you're going to feel once December hits and the schedule gets crazy. You can actually enjoy the process now versus cramming it all in later. First, consider the big areas you'll be decorating this year. In most homes, I call them the Big Five. That's going to be your front porch display, focal point, in this case it's your Christmas tree, second focal point, usually an architectural feature, your tablescape, and the small decor moments that you create around your home. A while back, I shared my extensive research into interior design styles broken down into my very own unique framework. We're going to be using that framework again to group styles together and create a holiday decorating plan for each one. I'll link that video down below. It's super helpful in finding your design style, especially if you're not sure which style you want to pursue in your home. We'll start with utilitarian focused styles, then we'll move into decoration focused styles. After that, minimalist focused styles, and then we'll end with individualism focused styles. Even if you don't go for the exact plans outlined in this video, you'll leave with tons and tons and tons of ideas that I'm hoping you can use to craft your own decorating plan for this holiday season. Utilitarian-focused design styles make use of raw industrial functionality. They put the focus on utilitarian architectural elements like exposed beams, brick walls, ductwork, and well-worn-in wood elements. If your home is industrial, rustic, or cottage, it's got that worn-in, comfortable, not fussy, natural vibe. I'm thinking a focus on natural neutrals will make the perfect complement to your holiday decorating. With a warm, neutral color palette, natural materials mixed with a little bit of shine and sparkle, and huge cozy layering, this will fit in perfectly with your existing design style. Starting at the front porch, we're going to keep things super simple here. We want to have a focus on natural greenery with a little bit of wildness to it. Just a simple, hopefully maybe a velvet solid color ribbon, some worn-in cowbells, a natural doormat. You don't even need something that has Christmas words or pictures all over it. Your existing doormat might just be fine. Look at how they've added in these woven, natural fibered plant containers and even some logs on the side to give it that rustic vibe. We're going to bring that natural feeling inside with the Christmas tree decorations. I'm loving these natural wood little house ornaments mixed in with some handmade clay stars, and you can string wooden beads. Ball ornaments are given a new life with a little bit of spray paint and some craft paint. That's going to be calming, not overly colorful. Look at this full-size Christmas tree in this loft kitchen. I'm loving the natural warm color palette. Beautiful brown paper wrapping is so simple and probably cost effective. We've got a couple touches in the kitchen area to complement. Overall, simple and beautiful. Now your second focal point is going to be some sort of architectural feature in your home that you want to highlight, or maybe we're going to create something if you don't have much of one. If you have a fireplace with rustic stonework, this is a great place to add a really wild garland. They've kept it very simple, not a lot of ornaments and add-ons like with the front door wreath. We just did some very simple white twinkle lights, pillar candles, or you could do tapers. That's really personal choice. You can see a roaring fire, some knit stockings in a neutral color. It's very simple, beautiful, clearly holiday and not over the top. Moving on to tablescapes, we're going to continue with that natural vibe. This is where you can save so much money and create a huge impact. Just go forage outside in your yard, around your neighborhood, look for some fallen branches or clip a few, find some things that you can twist and vine across the table. You can add in some pine cones, whether they're collected or store-bought. Use them even as place cards. This is such a simple DIY using existing white gift tags that you might have laying around the house. And I honestly love how the candles aren't even in the Christmas colors. This dusty blue and yellow, ochre, beigey color on the napkin, those are opposite each other on the color wheels, so they complement each other while still keeping that calm, neutral color palette. Just because we're doing natural neutrals doesn't mean everything has to be neutral. They've added some pomegranates as some color. It's so simple, it's so pretty, especially against the rustic table underneath. It's giving old, it's giving new, it's giving natural, it's giving growing, it's giving organic. Let's finish up this design plan with some small decor moment inspiration. The mirrors, this again could be foraged or purchased fairly inexpensively, highlighted with a simple ribbon and some pine cones. And this is especially great if you don't have that second architectural feature to highlight. This is one where you're almost creating one. The second one I love is doing a group of pillar candles in a bowl. Maybe you have a wooden bowl or basket hanging around that fits this vibe. Buying some moss and just kind of layering that in. It's so beautiful. It kind of plays off the neutral colors and the Christmas tree in the background. For each one of our design style categories, we're going to do a treat option because we love to bake and a DIY because we love to make. For utilitarian styles, I am absolutely loving this neutral little sweater cookie. I believe it's gingerbread with some frosting and a little like press that does that pattern, but you could do so many things with this. The DIY, one of the things I've always wanted to make, a pine cone wreath. There are so many DIYs for this all over the internet. So beautiful. We have so many pine cones all over our neighborhood. I could easily pick them up on a dog walk. Maybe we should try this. Moving on to decoration styles, focus on aesthetics, tradition, and the history of design. Often have a connection to the history of a place like Baroque or Victorian, and follow what we generally consider to be the rules of interior design. But all rules were meant to be broken, right? Even in traditional homes. If your home is traditional, French modern, vintage, consider going for a Moody transitional vibe this holiday season. Think Moody palette, Christmas traditions, but presented in a new way. We're gonna start the mood on the front porch with some very intentionally planned greenery and color choices. We're not gonna go for that very bright red and green nostalgia, but with a different palette. So it reads traditional, yet contemporary because of this switch in color vibe. If you're into dark academia, it's kind of going that route. If you're not into bright red and green, perfect. You can do the traditional thing without going full color. And moody colors doesn't mean dull colors. It means bold, deeper tones with a little bit of a dinginess to them. I love the deep brown satin ribbon. It's so thick and wide. You can add in some very small ornaments, jingle bells, more pine cones, layering a garland, wreaths on windows, wreaths on your door. It just makes it feel luscious and full. Now that doesn't mean you can't keep it simple and traditional too. Unadorned garland around the doorway, 2 beautiful trees potted on either side of the door. Symmetry is very much in this design style. 2 matching wreaths on the double doors, very simple doormats without holiday colors, but in a holiday vibey plaid. I love the idea of having these very simple small wreaths on windows around the home. It creates this cohesive grand effect even in a small house. You can find small wreaths like this for pretty inexpensive, and a simple roll of thick and beautiful velvet ribbon will make all the difference. It will take it from Dollar Tree to elegance instantly. With a Christmas tree, we can do a couple of different things. This velvet ribbon, you can use it everywhere across the home. So you could do bows, or you can just have it tied and hanging. This set of browns, sort of metallic-y ornaments, small gold ornate looking picture frames. Inside as the picture, they just put some plaid fabric. The other route that you can go, white and bright with some deeper tones throughout. Feathery inserts, antique glass ball ornaments, balancing it with this very moody wrapping paper at the base of the tree. The boldness of the black or dark green ribbon with the beautiful swag adjacent at that second focal point. Our architectural feature, you could do a really beautiful dramatic fireplace. I love the gilded mirror above the fireplace, natural greenery hanging, all the beautiful pillar candles at the top. The mirror is reflecting the tree across the room. It's splashing that light all over the living room. It's gonna really create that beautiful ambiance we want. The stairwell is another great place to make a huge impact. This is a very unique way to do it. Mostly when people hang garland on a stairwell, they do it on the actual handrail itself. This is such a unique idea to wrap it around the spindles at the base, all the way down to create this puddling effect on the floor. Our Moody traditional tablescape is definitely a great place to explore some traditional Chinese kind of patterns. You can find some really beautiful things in your local vintage shops, family heirlooms. This is a great time to rediscover old things that maybe you thought was kind of old school and grandma. Maybe it'll give you a huge new inspiration when you see it in a new way. I'm obsessed with Delft pottery. I love Spode Christmas. Obviously, that's what this little tea set is. It's really fun to think about how you can layer them with some different textiles. The key here is you don't have to have all matching. It's okay to give it that layered vibe as long as everything sort of coordinates in your eyes. Linens can go a long way to break up patterns or add pattern in and connect colors. Look at this green and white pottery. It is absolutely stunning. The set is gorgeous. It's subtly holiday without being overt. And if you don't like a lot of red in your decor, you don't have to. You can go more green and you can achieve that same Christmassy, cozy vibe. Now for some small decor moments. I'm loving this little cake stand candle display. This is so simple. All you need is a couple of foraged branches, maybe a little bit of gardening moss, some assortment of candles in a color story that you really like at varying heights, and boom, you're in business. It's a quick DIY and it's absolutely gorgeous. You could put this on a coffee table, dining table, really anywhere. Console table, you name it. And speaking of console tables, a little bit of greenery, a collection of white light up houses, and it just fits in really beautifully with the existing decor. See, that's what we want. We don't want it to be like, boom, we stamped the house with Christmas and it just is sort of exploded Christmas. We want it to kind of fit in effortlessly into what we've already created and just take it to the next level with the holiday vibe. You know what I mean? Choose your wrapping style to match your holiday decor style. You can pick up a couple rolls of wrapping paper, a couple rolls of ribbon in those moody tones. It's the foundation of your Christmas tree design. It's the literal foundation. It's at the bottom of the tree, and that's mostly what you're going to see. In most homes, you're not going to see the tree skirt all the time because there might be some gifts out. If you don't have a ton of gifts out, here's my secret. Wrap some empty boxes. It's just that simple. It gives the vibe, it gives the ambiance, and then you can just sort of change the ribbons every year as you change things up. I wrapped a couple boxes 2 years ago that I still use, and they look awesome. Great use for your old Amazon boxes too. Here's our treat. It's the most beautiful house cookie I've ever seen. This definitely looks like bakery level, but I'm feeling inspired to try this. I think we could make them. I'm loving how tiny the piping is. So we really have to find this like piping bag that's like got a teeny tiny little tip on it. Be prepared to make mistakes. And wouldn't they make beautiful gifts? And as for the DIY, let's make some Delft Christmas ball ornaments. This would be so easy. You could repurpose ball ornaments that you already have that you don't really like the style of anymore, or you could buy some at your local craft store that are ready for a DIY. All you need is some Mod Podge, Delft print. You can even print the Delft paper. Do a little search and print it on your home printer. I wasn't planning to make ornaments, but I do have a lot of DIY ready ornaments from the craft store from years ago that I never used. Wanting to DIY. We might need to do these. Tea break. Tastes better in this cup, I swear. Time to go the opposite direction into minimalism-focused design styles. Design with a focus on minimalism strives to create spaces that foster mental clarity through the intentional use of objects and a minimum of visual clutter. If your home is urban modern, minimalist, even mid-century modern, it's got that simplicity, contrast, and carefully curated feeling, I'm going to suggest you go with an artful simplicity theme for your holiday decorating. Think minimal decor, artful display, and overall contemporary vibe. We're going to keep it really simple with greenery and literally no decorations. One thing nobody seems to talk about when it comes to minimalism, it is one of the more inexpensive decoration styles. Think about it. You're not buying nearly as much stuff. Whereas decoration-focused styles need a lot more adornment to feel properly traditional. The simplicity of a natural garland and matching wreath on the front door with little other adornment, not even lights, or these small trees in round spherical pots on either side of the front door feel so contemporary, fresh, and interesting. When you're choosing a wreath, just look for something that looks as natural as possible. A simple single ribbon on the bottom is going to be perfect, or no ribbon at all. The Christmas tree. In minimal homes, since you're not going to be doing that much decorating, to be honest, you have to be very calculated and strategic about what you choose to grab the eye's attention, and the Christmas tree is number one. If your home has tall ceilings, go as tall as possible, and a simple set of ball ornaments that all matches is pretty much all you need. If you want to go a little bit more ornate and layered with different types of ornaments, by all means. I hope that goes without saying on everything here. All you really need is one of those big boxes of coordinated ornaments. Boom, you're done. As evidenced by some of these photos, you don't even need a tree topper to make a big impact. Moving on to architectural feature, you want to keep it simple and use the beautiful design rule of repetition. You can do a little gallery wall of wreaths, different coordinating bright colorful ribbon or neutral ribbons depending on your home's color palette. It's so simple, it wouldn't cost that much, and you could recreate it simply and beautifully every year. The repetition of these very bold, colorful wool stockings, a little garland of palms, it all coordinates with existing furniture. Even if you live in a really contemporary minimal space and you have a TV over your electric fireplace, for example, you can highlight it with symmetrical trees on either side. You don't even have to do ornaments, just put them in a coordinating container that looks beautiful in your home, maybe even something you already have. Think about making the most of your windows. This ceiling hung garland with very simple bells and a little bit of hanging decorations looks so dramatic. Moving on to the tablescape, again, with the money-saving capabilities here. They've got some black plates, black taper candles, beautiful glass goblets that you could use year-round, look so much more festive with all this greenery around. And that little candle display, you can buy that more like kitschy, but you can also just make it yourself with a faux wreath you find at the craft store, some carefully placed taper holders, and very simple on the color palette. Small decor moments in this look amazing with taper candles. Look how these modern candelabras with dark taper candles perfectly punctuate the greenery. And if you're going for that more mid-century modern nostalgia, colorful, fun vibe, taper holders of varying size, shape, and all these different colors of candles, you could pick those up extremely inexpensively and recreate that on a very tiny budget. Moving on to our minimalist treats and DIYs. Clear cellophane bags have little stacks of cookies inside with a sprig of greenery, looking so gorgeous in a little basket on your entry table when you host this season. Maybe for a hostess gift, just find a really beautiful kitchen towel, tie it around a wine bottle, boom. This makes use of something that's a gift and wrapping all in one. If minimalism isn't for you, looking a little too sparse around here to feel like Christmas, we're gonna shift the other way now into individualism focused design styles. Individualism begins with eclecticism, the idea that you don't have to adhere to just one style. Mixing aesthetics in new ways, incorporating new elements makes way for inspiring new design styles. If your home is eclectic, maximalist, even bohemian, if you're into that creative, collected, comfortable vibe, then I suggest going for a festive and bright holiday design style. Think unexpected palette, layered, a little nostalgic, but presented in a completely new and unique way. The mixing of old and new, clean lines, organic lines, bold colors, unexpected palettes, all to create something new and interesting in the realm of holiday decorating. This is not your average red and green, okay? But that doesn't mean that you can't incorporate some of Christmas's most valued traditions. I mean, just look at that spode. I live for spode Christmas tree pattern. It was originally copyrighted in 1938. This can go in so many design styles, you guys. This could be so beautiful. It's festive and bright, but couldn't it also fit into that moody traditional vibe? I think so. I have decisions to make on our home. Starting with the front porch, look how bold these color palettes are. It's bright, it's fun, it's exciting. If this is you, you're definitely gonna wanna lean into the color and go big and bold and overblown. Leaning into that maximalist styling, I mean, look at this garland. Ribbon on multiple sides, giant bow, and then there's not much else. It's this like big bold statement, but like knows when to leave it at that. On the other hand, we've got this wild, beautiful, there's a lot more red than green here, and then looking into the home, you can see how bold this space is. So this front porch display clearly has to match what's inside. Okay, Christmas tree. I say go big and bold with the colors, again, festive and bright, but lean into the nostalgia. Think shiny bright ornaments in bold colors, tinsel. You can really go heavy with the decor. You can layer, aligning the whole thing around a color palette that's bright and bold, and it doesn't have to be that traditional red and green. Moving on to architectural features, I am in love with this amazing garland over this door casing. It is exactly what I'm talking about with the festive and bright. The bulk of this is various shades of wide velvet ribbon in these bold, cool color combos. If you don't want to spend a fortune on velvet ribbon, get a big box of ball ornaments in a color story and line your garland over your fireplace with them. Gather things from around your house that fit that colorway. Look, they pulled a pink orchid in there. They put some pink glass candle holders. Even the ribbon on the gift down on the table there is pink. I mean, come on, way to make great use of things you already have, making your own Christmas palette using the colors you already love and have in your space. Tablescapes are also so fun in this design style because you can really go opulent with layering like tablecloth, many different layers of plates, charger, dinner plate, salad plate, dessert plate, textiles for your napkins, maybe a runner. You can mix different vintage styles of plates, beautiful, very girly plates layered with the Christmas tree pattern from Spode. It almost looks like a spring tablecloth. Can you see what I'm going for here? You don't have to have like this overtly all Christmas stuff, and you don't have to go out and spend a fortune on Christmas stuff to have a beautiful home at Christmas time. You can buy a few choice, very selected items, pair them with the things in your collection that you already have that sort of coordinate. I mean, gosh, just pull out your ribbon box. Hello, so simple. Use what you already own. Little Christmas ball ornaments on them. It's so contemporary, modern, interesting, fun. Hoppers, those are really fun to add to your dining table, and you can get really creative. You can make your own. So festive. Christmas candy shop. This is another festive and bright motif style you could go for. Candy striping on things, the bright colors, the piles of treats, even down to the tiny little disco balls on the table that are gonna bounce light all over the room. Festive and bright, small decor moments. You know I'm loving this bedroom. They already had a green headboard. Doesn't matter that it's not a Christmassy green. Layered in different shades of red, pink, blue, a wreath above the bed, and instantly you have a holiday bedroom. Candy striping on the sheets that matches that candy striping that we saw in that dining room example. You could really carry this throughout the home. You don't have to do a big bedroom dramatic display to do a small decor moment. You could just add some beautiful colored ribbon and some more Christmas ball ornaments to a wreath like this super simple one. This honestly looks like a springtime wreath and they've repurposed it, and it's genius. Save the money, have a little DIY sesh. The treats. We've got to go bright and bold and fun and especially graphic for the treat. So I picked out this amazing Christmas tree pie, and it's got all these strawberries cut up inside, but they've done this really amazing work with the top layer. Just use little like cookie cutters to do that, right? I mean, it looks so beautiful. And the DIY paper chain garland. It is amazing. It's frugal. It's custom. This one's actually made out of ribbon. Cut lengths of ribbon. Using a little dot of hot glue, you can make the loops like paper chain, except for it's a ribbon chain. The mix of colors is super unique. Depending on the color palette and material selection, I think this could honestly work in any of the holiday design plans that we talked about today, but particularly looks amazing in this one due to its high impact, low price, and nostalgia. Which of these 4 design plans do you think I'm going with in our home? Let me know down in the comments along with your design plans. And if you need more specific interior design advice, make sure to find me over on Instagram at Lindsay Living. You can also check out some behind the scenes and stories. If you enjoyed this video, watch all the way to the end, just tap that little thumbs up. It helps me so much. And don't forget to subscribe, tap the notification bell too so you don't miss a single episode. And I'll see you next week for our Christmas home makeover. Don't go yet. If you liked this video, you're gonna love last week's video. It's all about how to get your home ready for the holidays before decorating. I honestly recommend doing that first so that you don't drive yourself insane and you can actually enjoy the decorating process.